Hello everyone, welcome to My English, My Life, an online program for learning English from class 6 to class 12. In that today we are going to have our ninth class last unit. This was a beautiful unit we love. Everybody loves this theme of the unit, especially the theme of the unit, tours and travels. We can take anybody, everybody likes to travel either to if we get any holidays, especially during the holidays, everybody wants to travel from one place to another place. Most probably as we are Indians, we have an emotions. If we get any one day holiday, we will travel to our grandfather's home or grandmother's homes. We will travel to other places because to have some entertainment, to have some fun, we will travel to some other places. So here, without wasting of time, I'm going to continue the entire big narration. In this unit, we have three. In that first A reading, we are having a beautiful narration of one tourist. We know that tourist means a person who visits a place in the form of a tour. We will call him as a tourist. So here we are having a tourist. His name is Bill Bryson. So it was a wonderful. Actually, I thought of mentioning this unit in this lesson in the first unit, because this entire travel what we are discussing about Bill Bryson, his journey was really humorous, a lot of fun. We will enjoy this beautiful narration. It was a beautiful fun, and we will enjoy this narration, his narration, how he will explain and what happened when he was in the journey, and what happened when he was traveling to some other places. It was wonderful. I prefer this lesson to be mentioned in the first unit itself. Then, because first unit we heard the narration of our doctor. It is a wit and humor. What a funny incidents we have seen. The same incident we can find here. So for that I said that we have to mention this accidental tourist in the unit 1, because what wonderful, you will enjoy this unit and the entire explanation. Most probably I can say that this unit narration, how he explains in a humorous way, really you can enjoy that. Let's begin the class without wasting of time. So they say that the world today is a small place because travel has become easy, but not everybody finds it easy to travel. Here the author reflects humorously his experience as a traveler. So here our author Bill Bryson is going to express his experience in the journey in the form of humorously. He is going to give us his journeys, and because everyone knows previously there was no the transportation system. We have only carts, bullock carts, later slowly bicycle, later motorcycles, later we got cars, later we got trains, and finally airplanes. So now in a minutes, within 30 minutes from Hyderabad to Chennai, from Hyderabad to some other places we can visit it in a minute, in less than hour. So now transportation becomes very easy, but not for all. For your kind information, everybody finds it is easy to travel, but not all, because on basing of expenses, expenditure, amount, cost. For example, who are having 25,000 rupees, they can choose flight from Hyderabad to Chennai. Who are having 1,000 rupees, they can prefer a train. Who are having less than that, they can prefer a bus to go for same cost, bus or train. So that is because of expenditure, because of cost, we can choose. We are going to choose the way of journeys, the mode of transportation. So here our author is going to give you a beautiful experience. He is going to share with us. Let's read. One of all the things I'm not very good at living in the real world is perhaps the most outstanding. I am constantly filled with wonder at the number of things that other people do without any evident difficulty that are pretty because beyond me. I cannot tell you the number of times that I have gone looking for a lavatory in a cinema, for instance, and ended up standing in an alley on the wrong side of a self-locking door. My particular specialty now is returning to hotel desk two or more times a day and asking what my room numbers is. I am, in short, easily confused. So now here our author, we can say, is a confusing man, and we can say simple that short off mind, we can call off mind, because he will forget everything easily. In a short time he used to forget everything. Many examples he had given here, like for example, he will when we went to a cinema theater, a movie theater, there we have two sides, one for men and one for women, but he used to search always which side is the men's lavatory or which side is women's lavatory. So he used to always search for the washrooms, and later we can say that not now, even everybody will be confused when we are opening the doors. There they will mention pull and push. We don't know which one we have to pull or we have to push. How many of you got confused to doing the same activity many times? I was confused many times, because when I was going to any mobile shoppies or any other shopping malls, normally they will open. If there was nobody there, we have to pull or push, we have to do it. So during most of the times we used to confuse whether we have to pull or we have to push. When we go to the entrance, we will wait for a second, yes or no, we to think that we have to push or pull. So many times he have been missed when it was, he has to push, but instead of that he pulled it, and instead of pushing he had pulled, and instead of pulling he had pushed. So he done many times this type of things. When I was childhood, I done this type of mistake many times, because I don't know what to push and what to pull. Many times these words will confuse us. Same here, Bill Bryson also confused like that. And when he was staying in the hotels, so he used to go to always the receptionist and ask him many times what was my room number. So because he will always confuse, he will confuse and make others to be confused. That was the nature of our author and Bill Bryson. I was thinking about this the last time when I went to end family on a big trip, along with the family on a big trip. It was at Easter and we were flying to England for a week. When we arrived at Logan Airport in Boston and we are checking in, I suddenly remember that I had recently joined the British Airways frequent flyer program. I also remember that I had put the card in my carry-on bag, and here's where the trouble started. So now, along with his family, our Bill Bryson is going to a long trip. So he and his family members, they reached the Logan Airport in Boston, and from there they are traveling to England for a week. So when he went to the airport, when they were going to check in, then he remembered one thing, that because when he going to take the ticket checking, he got an idea that I already said he short mind off. So he got remember that, yes, recently when I come back, when I was traveling, I got a ticket or a card which was given by British Airways. If you are traveling frequently, we will get a ticket, means like an offer. So if you are traveling regularly, they will give some discounts. So he thought that yes, very recently I had joined in the British Airways frequent flyer program, so I may get discount if I show the card. So then the card is also in my bag. So then immediately now he is going to open the bag. So now we can see what happened. Now the trouble has been started. What was the trouble? What happened to our Bill Bryson? Let's see here. The zip on the bag was jammed. So I pulled on it and angered it with grins and frowns and increasing consternation. I kept this up for some minutes, but it would not budge. So I pulled harder with more grunts. Well, you can guess what happened. Abruptly the zip gave away. The side of my bag flew open and everything within, a newspaper cuttings and other loose papers, and a 15-ounce thin a pipe of tobacco, magazines, passport, English money, filling was extravagantly ejected over an area about a size of tennis court. See here, what a funny thing here. Commonly, we will get this type of problem as usually when you are opening our school bag. Sometimes our school bag zip will be jammed. So what we will do, we will make the zip to one up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down for 5 or 10 times with the grunts. Later, we will make a force, then it will open. The same thing here, our Bill Bryson also doing the same thing, that is, he is trying to open the zip of the bag. When he was trying to open that, it was jammed. When it jammed, he done the same thing what we are doing when we are opening a school bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, 7 times he opened like that. Later he given a sudden grunt. When he made a sudden grunt, what happened? The zip has been opened. When it opened, then you can see all the things. How he is opening, commonly what we will do, we will keep, for example, this is the bench. We will keep the bag here and we'll open like this. But our Bill Bryson was entirely different. What he was doing, he made the bag reverse and he trying to open like this. So when he was opening it, all of a sudden, for example, bag like this, you can see in the picture also. He kept the bag like this and he was opening. Well, all of a sudden what happened? It has been opened. When it opened, everything has fallen. Whatever in the bag, English money, passport, and newspaper, magazines, newspaper cuttings, loose papers, and a pipe of tobacco. So everything has been fallen. And how they have fallen? Not in one place, like a big tennis court in the airport when they're going to check in the place. It has been spreaded all over on the floor. So everybody was staring at Bill Bryson. What happened to this man? Why he was behaving like this? So everybody looking at that, our Bill Bryson. Then what we will get? We will get sudden insult. The same thing was happened by experienced by our Bill Bryson. I watched Dumbstruck like this. As 100 carefully sorted documents came raining down in a fluttery cascade, coins bounced to a variety of noisy oblivions, and now idleness tin of tobacco rolled crazily across the concourse, disgorging its contents as it went. So now we can see here. So everything is falling. How they were falling with the different coins making different sounds. Papers were moving here and there, here, because when the air blows, automatically the papers will go some other place. So same thing here. The papers were moving some other place. Coins were falling and making different sounds. So tobacco roll was unrolled and moving some other place. So everybody was moving here and there and looking at our Bill Bryson, and he was dumbstruck like this. You don't know what to do. All they were looking at him, and everybody was looking at him, and everything has fallen down, and he was in a big surprise, and we can say simply he was in a mood of dilemma to do what to do. So that's finished. Next one. My tobacco! I cried in horror, thinking what I do have to pay for that much tobacco in England now that another budget had come and gone, and then changed the cry to my finger, and discovered that I had gashed my finger on the zip, and I was shedding blood in a lavish manner. I am not very good around flowing blood generally, but when it's my own, well, I think hysterics are fully justified. Confused, unable to help, my hair went into panic mode. So now what happened? He was shouting, "Hey, my tobacco. If I want to get the same tobacco in England, it will be double cost. So who will get the money? Again, money have to spend." When he was thinking about that, suddenly he has seen that he was bleeding here. Was bleeding because his finger was jammed in the zip. So again he was shouting, my finger. Why? Because it was already bleeding. So now we can see the condition. He was a man of totally confusing. He don't know. He was thinking about the things. At the same time, he is finger was jammed there and bag was open and everything was falling down. So he was shouting for tobacco, shouting for the help for his finger. So he was in a big disappointment mode to know what to do at the situation. Everybody was looking at our Bill Bryson. It was at this point that my wife looked at me with an expression of wonder, not anger or exasperation, but just simple wonder, and said, "I can't believe you do this for a living." So now wife also saying one thing, what wife already knows very well about Bill Bryson. So she was not surprised with that incident. She knows very well. She said, okay, she was looking at him, "I know you will do all these things for your living things." So then simply she was moving as usually because she knows very well. We can see that how she knows very well about Bill Bryson. In the coming passages, you will come to know how she was habituated for the activities of Bill Bryson in the coming passages. Let's see here again. "But I'm afraid it's so. I always have catastrophes." You already got the word in 9th, 7th passage, 7th unit. "When I travel, once on an airplane, I leaned over to tie a shoelace. Just a moment, someone in the seat ahead of me threw his seat back into full recline and found myself pinned helplessly in the crashed position. It was only by clawing the leg of the men's seat next to me and I managed to get myself freed." So now what happened? Another thing he is going to experience when we are traveling in the bus or commonly or in the flight, we will feel the same situation. So he just bent to tie his shoelace. So when he bent front, what will happen? Suddenly another person recline. You know we will press the bed button. Then immediately we will go back like this. The same, all of a sudden the front seat had just pressed total fully reclined. Then immediately it comes and hits his head. Then he was very in a disappointment, shouted, and later with the help of back another seat, he slowly got up with the help of another man who is sitting beside of the seat, and slowly he got up and he freed from the position. We can see that we know if anybody want to tie your lace when you are traveling in the bus or airplane, you just don't bend front, you just keep your leg up and you just tie. Or if you bend, we don't know when they will come recline the seat, then immediately it will hurt. We don't know what will happen. So when you are traveling the buses, never bend front to tie or to get any things. Okay, this is very important notice for you. Let's see. On another occasion, I knocked a soft drink on the lap of a sweet girl lady sitting beside me. The flight attendant came and cleared her up and brought me a replacement drink, and instantly I knocked it onto the woman again. To this day, I don't know how I did it. I just remember reaching out of my new drink and watching the helplessly as my arm, like in some cheap prop in one of those 950s horror movies, with a name called the Undead Limb, violently swept the drink from its perch onto her lap. So another occasion he was saying that. So when he was traveling in the flight, again same another incident, everything is in the flight itself. So a beautiful lady was sitting beside of our Bill Bryson. So once he got a drink, when he was about to drink, immediately what happened? It just flew on the beside girl. The attendant came, flight attendant, she came and she cleaned, and later again she replaced with another replacement. Again same. Third time also repeated. So all things, still he was remembering that why he did the same thing again and again. He don't know what happened. Maybe he wantedly or unwantedly, we don't know. But because he is having the habit of frightening by saying such a things when he was traveling. So when he was traveling, he knows very well many incidents. Head, another poaching on the other's lap, on the drink on the other's lap. So this is quite common in his life. He experienced many times. So the lady looked at me with a stupefied expression. Would you expect to receive from someone whom you have repeatedly drenched? And uttered an oath that started with "oh," finished with "sake," and in between had some words that I had never heard uttered in the public before, certainly not by a nun. So, who is that lady means a nun. Nuns means very peacefully, they will very calm and sensitive and peace. But once, twice, okay, thrice he repeated the same thing. Then he received a beautiful words from the nun, and he never forget those words because he never heard such a words in his life entire career. So that was another funny incident when he was traveling in the flight. So this, however, was not my worst experience on a plane. My worst experience when I was writing important thoughts in a book by socks, clutch rings carefully, etc., sucking thoughtfully on the end of my pen, and as you do, and fell into conversation with an attractive young lady in the next seat. I amused her for perhaps 20 minutes with scattering of urban bones, moths, then retired to a lavatory where I discovered that the pen had leaked, that my mouth, chin, tongue, teeth, and gums were now a striking scrub resistant navy blue would remain so several days. So now what happened? So when he was traveling, he's taking a paper and writing an important things. What important things? You know what he's writing? Buy socks, clutch drinks, or carefully, travel carefully. So he's writing some important words in the piece of paper in the notebook. So when he was writing casually, what we will do? We will think like this: what we have to do, what we have to next room, what we have to do. Evening, what we have to write. For example, this is my pen, so I forgot to keep the pen in my pocket. So let's yes. The same activity was doing by our Bill Bryson. So all of a sudden he went for lavatory. When he went to the lavatory, he has seen that the pen has been leaked. You can see the pen will leak from backside. No, it has been leaked. Then imagine situation here, 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 here. Everywhere there was a navy blue stripes of the pen. Then you can imagine how he will feel. The beside a beautiful lady was sitting beside of him. So now you can see what was the reaction of the beautiful lady and what was the explanation of our Bill Bryson. So that is the worst experience of him when he was traveling in the flight. So you will understand, I trust, when I tell you how much I ache to be saw. I would love just once in my life to rise from a dinner table without looking as if I have just experienced an extremely localized seismic event, get in a car and close the door without leaving 14 inches of coat outside, wear light colored trousers without discovering at the end of the day I have various times sat on a chewing gum, ice cream, cough syrup, and motor oil, but it is not be. So he's saying many experiences. What that many times sitting on the dinner table, forgetting all the things and remembering. For example, I thought I ate and I'm washing hands and moving out of the door and forgetting, for example, unmatching dress and leaving the coat out of the car and locking the door and sitting on the chewing gum, stepping on the chewing gum, sitting on ice cream or cough syrups and motor oil. So many times he done all the things. Commonly we will do all the things. Many times when we are traveling on the road, sometimes we will step on chewing gum. We can see how much we have trouble. We have to go through some rock and we have to drag it and we have to make it to clear. So many times I suffered many times when I was coming to school. On my shoe, I have been stepped many times. 2-3 times I stepped on chewing gums. So I struggled a lot going to the water and wet place and making my shoe clean to get the clear from the chewing gum, because until it clears we will get sticky to the floor and it will disturb many people. So the same thing he done many times on motor oil. He sat on chewing gums, motor oil, ice creams many times, cough syrup. So many times he done because he's a man of confusion. So we can imagine the beautiful life of Bill Bryson, how much funny incidents he is giving to us when he was traveling. So now on planes, on time planes, when the food is delivered, my wife says, take the lids off the food for daddy, or put your hoods up. Children, daddy is about to cut the meat. Of course, this is only when I was when I'm traveling with my family. When I'm on my own, I don't eat, drink, or lean over to tie shoes or shoelaces, and never put a pen anywhere of my near my mouth. I just sit very, very quietly, sometimes on my hands to keep on them from flying out unexpectedly and causing liquid mischief. It's not much fun, but it does not least count down on the laundry bills. So now they were traveling to England. So when they were traveling, wife is saying that, "Hey children, now your father is going to eat. Be careful. Make your hoods up. Be careful. So your father is going to cut a meat now. Be careful, because when he put his fork or something on the meat, it will go somewhere. It will go here, there, or here, there. So be careful. Your father is always a confused man and a hurry man, hurry burry man. So be careful." So he's saying one more thing. Yes, of course. Why I'm eating now? Because all my family members are beside me. So no trouble. Nothing will happen. So when I was traveling single, I never repeated the same thing, because I never bent to try shoelace or never keep pen in my near my mouth. And next, most probably, what he said clearly here, sitting very silently, not moving here, looking here, not even drinking, eating anything, simply holding my hand like this and sitting here like silent, because it will save my laundry bill. Because whenever he travels, he will spoil his entire dress, his entire face, or something, anything else, so he can save the laundry bill. I will never, I never did my get frequent flyer miles. By the way, I never do. I could not find the card in time. This has become a real frustration for me. I know everyone is forever flying off to Bali first class with their air miles. I never get to collect anything. I must fly lakhs kilometers a year. Yet I have accumulated only 200 to 212 air miles divided between 23 airlines. So next, I'm continuing. This is because either I forgot to ask the air miles when I check in, or I remember to ask for them, but the airline then manages to not to record them, or the check-in clerk informs me that I am not entitled to them. In January, on a flight to Australia, a flight for which I was going to get about a million air miles, the clerk shook her head when I presented my card and told me I was not entitled to any. Why? The ticket is in the name of B. Bryson and the card is in the name of W. Bryson. I explained to her the close and vulnerable relation between Bill and William, but she would not have it. So I didn't get my air miles, and I won't be flying to Bali first class 8. Perhaps just as well. Really, I could never go that long without eating. So now everybody want to travel for a long time journeys in the flight. So that way, first class means it was a really wonderful experience, because we'll have a luxurious things and we can watch everything clearly from the first class. A beautiful we can say class and seat accommodation and attendance of flight attendants, so we can experience the first class journeys there. So now he got a chance to travel to Bali, a beautiful place where we can enjoy the nature, and you can Google it, the place wonderful Bali, Bali we can call in Telugu. So wonderful place, we can experience that and we can see the nature, how beautiful nature it was. And he was traveling to the same place because with the help of British Airways flyer program, he is going to reserve that. So when he went to buy a ticket, he went to the ticket and he said his name is B. Bryson, and he shown his card. The flight attendant said, "No, it is not possible for you to get the ticket." Because why? Because the card is in the name of W. Bryson, means William Bryson, and his name is Bill Bryson. So now he said that, why you are saying that? Why you are saying that? There is a close relationship. That is only my name. Actually, his full name is William McGroney Bill Bryson. So, but the card is given. He got the ticket in the name of Bill Bryson, and the card is in the name of William Bryson. Same name, but one is full name, one is half name. So that will be the big problem. That flight receptionist said that no, it is not possible for you to travel to Bali. And most probably he said, no, of course I can't travel because that is a long journey, nearly 1 lakh miles, and it is not even possible for me to travel that much of time without eating anything, without drinking anything, without going to laboratory, or without having writing anything, because if I write something, I will get a problem. If I eat something, there will be a problem. If I drink something, there will be a problem. So it is not even possible for me to travel for a long journey to Bali to go for a first class ticket. So then the journey has been finished. We can see a lot of incidents, funny incidents. You can remember many things what he had been experienced. We done everything. So we stepped on chewing gum, and we sat on ice cream sometimes, or cough syrups, and most probably our zip has been jammed many times. So all the things what he said was related to us, and we had experienced many times. So that was the end of An Accidental Tourist, which was written by Bill Bryson. His experiences when he was traveling to different places in the plane. That is the end of The Accidental Tourist, a humorously element we can enjoy about the Bill Bryson. Meet you in the next session. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, to share this video to your friends. Let them learn and enjoy the classes. Meet you in the next session. Until then, bye bye.